Well, Osijek is going to duel with Paris to be the city of love when it comes to gymnastics. And it always does a fine job. Here are your contenders for the men's floor title in Osijek, and what a lineup it is. Very exciting to see gymnasts from all over the world. A record 35 countries entered the Osijek World Cup. The top qualifier, Artem Dolgopiat of Israel, the Olympic champion in Tokyo, and the silver medalist in Paris. Let's have a look at your runners and riders. Here is a returning Olympian, Harry Hepworth from the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, the bronze medalist on vault at Paris in 2024, the first British man to win an Olympic medal on vault. He was the fourth best in qualification with a score of 13.666, but he did take 0.3 penalty deductions, so watch for him to potentially move up.
The second finalist representing Bulgaria, Eddie Penev.
An absolute veteran performer on this apparatus, indeed on all apparatus, and a winner of 7 World Cup medals. Eddie Penev of Bulgaria was the 6th best in qualification with a score of 13.633. The 34-year-old has competed for both Bulgaria and the United States of America over the course of his distinguished career.
Treći finalist predstavnik je Izraela. Third finalist representing Israel, Artem Dolgopiat.
A 2-time Olympic medalist, and one of them the greatest prize on earth. The champion in Tokyo, the silver medalist in Paris, a floor specialist from Israel, Artem Dolgopiat. He has the set, he's also a European and world champion. He was the top qualifier, unsurprisingly.
The fourth finalist representing the United States of America, Junosuke Iwai.
Now here is a crackerjack of a young gymnast from the United States of America. Jun Iwai, the third best in the preliminary round with a score of 13.766. A very well-performed routine in terms of its execution. And he comes here having won the silver medal on floor at the Winter Cup.
The fifth finalist representing Kazakhstan, Milad Karimi.
A World Championship medalist on floor from the most recent edition in Antwerp in 2023. The second best in qualification, a very graceful and stylish gymnast on this apparatus, indeed on all apparatus. Milad Karimi of Kazakhstan.
Šesti finalist predstavnik je Slovenije. The sixth finalist representing Slovenia, Andrzej Hribar.
A young Slovenian from the beautiful city of Ljubljana, Andrzej Hribar. He won a silver medal at the most recent World Cup in Antalya. Excellent performances from him lately. He has been getting better and better and better.
The seventh finalist representing Croatia, Aurel Benovic.
Get ready for noise. What a special moment for Aurel Benovic of the host nation, Croatia. The European Championship silver medalist on floor 5 years ago. He loves this place. They love him back. And it's wonderful to see him here once again. He was the vault champion in Osijek last year. He was 5th at the Olympic Games as well.
The eighth finalist representing Uzbekistan, Abdulaziz Mirvaliev.
And let's bring in a bright young prospect from Uzbekistan who has been a medalist at the Asian Championships. This is Abdulaziz Mirvaliev, the 7th best in qualification. He's from the ancient Silk Road city of Tashkent and is a youth Olympian. Cool, what about that for a lineup? Not bad, is it? Not bad at all.
Po pravilima Svjetskog gimnastičkog saveza, prije početka finalnog natjecanja, prva 4 finalista imaju na raspolaganju.
So the gymnasts will have the privilege afforded to all finalists.
The first 4 finalists have 50
split warm-up system.
One-touch warm-up before they start competing. So it's a total of 3 minutes and 20 seconds. You may start warming up.
Very well articulated by the PA announcers in the stadium in Osijek. Well, gymnasts often produce something bigger than we've seen before, don't they? They often upgrade their skills, but it's not just gymnasts that upgrade. This event has upgraded too. Osijek used to be a World Challenge Cup. It is now a fully fledged World Cup event, and quite right too. It's been always one of the best presented World Challenge Cups for a long time. The television product has always looked excellent. The crowd has always been excellent. So it's absolutely earned its place, sitting as a top-tier World Cup event. So before we celebrate all of the gymnasts who've upgraded, let's celebrate Osijek for a moment and raise a metaphorical or literal glass, as you please, to the Osijek World Challenge Cup. No longer the Osijek World Cup is born. So we're going to see in the first half of this floor final, Harry Hepworth, the 4th best in qualification, Eddie Penev, the 6th best in qualification, Artem Dolgopiat, the top qualifier, and Jun Iwai, the 3rd best in qualification. We have a gymnast who's 18 in the first half. We have a gymnast who's 34. And those two gentlemen, the youngest and oldest in these finals. The Osijek World Cup uses a very streamlined system. The athletes compete. We just get one final at a time. They proceed straight from results to the podium. We have the ceremonies right after. It all works, touch wood, very nicely. We have had, as I'm sure many of you are aware, some changes to the orchestration of men's gymnastics due to the code of points, the rule book, if you will, being rewritten at the end of every Olympic cycle and introduced to take us through to the next games, in this case the Los Angeles 2028 games. And one of the big changes has happened on floor, where the gymnasts must all dismount with a double salto. And it's only 70 seconds maximum now, the men's floor routine, rather than 75 seconds. Throughout all of men's gymnastics, 8 elements count now instead of 10, so overall pared-down approach. Harry Hepworth of Great Britain will start. He was 4th best in qualification with 13.666, but he did have 0.3 of penalty marks taken from his score for straying beyond the line. So he could well move up the leaderboard. He's a wonderful gymnast on this apparatus, and he is an Olympic medalist on vault as well. Huge congratulations to him for becoming the first British man to get onto an Olympic vault podium.
Give him a go. Yeah. A prvi nastupa predstavnik Velike Britanije, the first finalist representing Great Britain, Harry Hepworth.
Harry Hepworth will begin this men's floor final. And we begin with this new compulsory requirement for gentlemen on floor, the balance scale. It's proving tricky for a lot of gymnasts who are simply not accustomed to doing it. Hepworth certainly accustomed to doing these big tumbling passes though. Oh, yes, what a landing. It's a very elegant side pass, beautiful twisting. He is an outstanding gymnast on the rings as well, and a little stylistic crossover there, very nice. That's tough, isn't it? Twisting round into the tuck position. Not a lot of time in the air to judge the degree of rotation correctly, so he does incur a full mark reduction. It's certainly had its moments, that from 21-year-old Harry Hepworth from Great Britain. Like so many gymnasts here in Osijek, he is beginning his build towards the next Olympiad. Been such an important part of the narrative in Paris. The bronze medalist on vault. He's such a powerful tumbler, isn't he? And his execution, his form, his tidiness in flight has developed enormously over the last few years. It's unfortunate there, he's got a nice looking twist position, just can't quite get the body round going into that difficult second portion of the pass in the tumble position. It's just very difficult gymnastics, that pass that caused him to put his hand down. And that's okay. It's fine to do it at this stage. This is the beginning of making that routine really take shape. It's also late in the routine, isn't it, to do that particular tumbling pass, when you think of the complexity of it. And he did have a 6.2 difficulty score in qualification, which was the highest of anyone.
Harry, you're doing good. Smile, you're on camera. Look one.
Smile, you're on camera, they say to a man who's just reflecting on the fact that he put his hand down on a tumbling pass that most people wouldn't attempt at the start of a routine, let alone where he chose to place it. Big work. He's been a national champion on the rings as well. See him in the vaulting competition. 13.066. So the difficulty has dropped by a few tenths, and obviously the execution is down quite considerably, meaning that overall that's a loss of 0.6 of a mark for young Harry Hepworth, because he is still very young. The statesman of this floor final, Eddie Penev,
The second finalist representing
34-year-old,
Eddie Penev.
7 times a World Cup medalist. Hugely accomplished gentleman, an architecture graduate from Stanford University. Not the only gymnast associated with Stanford we're going to see this weekend. We've got a gymnast in the women's competition who'll be beginning their association soon. He's concluded his. Oh, just about held it. He was the 6th best in qualifying with 13.633. This is a very different construction of routine from Hepworth's. It's not as complicated, but as you so often find with Eddie Penev, the clarity is very enjoyable. A lot of gymnasts early on in this Olympic cycle are going to give away some tenths on their balance holds as they get used to putting those into floor routines. He's a little piped over, nose close to the knees as he landed there, but very enjoyable display from Eddie Penev, and didn't he do well to hold on to that tumbling pass at the beginning of the routine. He was just starting to stumble his way out of bounds.
Imali su nalazući posla sa strane, klinički, ali sve u svemu, ono što se primijetio je jedan dodani element koji mora biti totalno miran.
Good save. The flag has gone up though. Just about transgressed.
Nekima stvara probleme, jer nakon što skočiš dupli salto, zadržati taj balans nije baš...
Yeah, interesting that. The tumbling pass from Penev that is perhaps a little new. The running double front in his routine.
Sa malim grešnicama, evo, mislim da će biti velika ocena.
Tako kažu ovi Bugari i Lunaciji. Sad ćemo čekati rezultat naravno zajedno. Svaki čas za našu publiku za sada podržava sve naše natjecatelje. Imaju čuli ste 70 sekundi. Ako to prođe, penalizacija.
Tako je, gimnastičari jako probiju vrijeme na parteru.
13.633 in the preliminary round. 5.4 difficulty, 8.233 execution. 13.3 this time. The execution is down. He's got a 10th taken off his score as well for going out of bounds. A lot of the deductions will be tied to that opening tumbling pass. Otherwise, very nice. Well, we expect this to be a bit of a show stealer. Martin Dolgopiat, 14.166 in qualification. But he did have 3 penalty tenths as well. So this could go even higher. The gold medalist at the Olympic Games in Tokyo and the silver medalist in Paris. Yes, well, that's not a bad start. Oh, gosh, the clarity in his pike position. And he judged the angle of landing so finely. He's not giving a great deal away in the exit points of his tumbling passes. That time, though, just as I said it, he does go out of bounds. Flag clearly up. But then he did have 3 tenths of penalty deductions in the preliminary stage. Yes, that was nice, wasn't it? Steady. Probably the steadiest we've seen. I don't think there is any doubt as to who's going to be leading after that performance. The 27-year-old Martin Dolgopiat of Israel. He has been the all-around national champion on more than one occasion, by the way. I've seen him do the all-around here and there of late. Usually when it's of real benefit to the team. So let's have a look back at this display from one of the very finest floor performers out there. The landings are a major part of what's going to contribute to his very high execution score. But look at that beautiful twist position. Yes, we'll focus on the step out of bounds naturally, as it's the last thing on our minds, but he's got toe point as he twists. The heels are very together. He's good as he lands, and he's good in the apex. At the highest point, there's clarity of his skill presentation. So all of that should lead to a good evaluation from the execution panel. 14.133. Exactly the same score as qualification. Actually, it's not. Slightly down by a few hundred, excuse me.
The fourth finalist representing the United States of
He
America.
really is an exciting young man. Junewai of the United States of America, the 18-year-old from Texas, silver medalist on floor at a very prestigious competition at the start of the year, the Winter Cup, and that was a year after winning the junior all-around at that same competition. But lovely to see him here at full international level for the first time after he won a few medals at the DTB Pokal Team Challenge early this spring. This is his first time at an FIG World Cup event. First time we've seen the flares employed, and they were nicely performed. different balance position. That was okay. It's very graceful, isn't he? Oh, oh goodness me, just give the lad a diving board. That was such a lovely position to conclude. How stylish. No wonder he's beaming. Well done, young man. Good gymnastics family. Sister Momoko competes for the University of Denver, and he's been a great brother going along to support her. Let's not even begin to talk about the generation above. That's a story for another day. But for now, let's just celebrate this young man and what he's done here, which is very nice gymnastics. No wonder he was the third best in qualification. That's lovely to conclude. Seemed well and truly in control. That is the reaction of a youngster who has just performed a lovely performance at a World Cup for the first time as an Olympic champion. Nods and applauds, feeling very impressed by what he's seen. Oh my goodness! 14.133. He's actually tied with Dolgopiat, but on the tie-break criteria, it is Dolgopiat who is ahead. And I'll just read you their scores in compartmentalized form. Both of them 8.433 execution. Dolgopiat with a 0.1 penalty, Iwai with a 0.1 bonus, and Dolgopiat has 0.2 higher difficulty than Iwai, 5.8 to 5.6. Now the next group are warming up. Golly, that was so impressive from Juniwai. You could see, I'm sure, the reaction on his face as he looked at the score and realised he'd got the number, but he hadn't got the position to go with it. But there is no shame in tying with an Olympic champion and the most recent silver medalist at the Olympics on your World Cup debut. Now there's always going to be huge excitement whenever this gentleman's performing in Osijek. Hasn't he been an impressive performer this season? Anze Hribar of Slovenia. Just want to reflect on those balance positions again as we see Aurel Benovic practicing his. The younger gymnasts like Mr. Hribar probably not as used to training balance positions. You think about the veteran in there, Eddie Penheven, he performed his balance very nicely. He might be somebody who very early on in his career was actually training alongside gymnasts who were doing those balance positions and probably has either done them, seen them. So it might be a return to form for Penhev, whereas for the younger gymnasts it's quite a new experience on floor. This is Milad Karimi of Kazakhstan, the second best in qualification. Bronze at the World Championships in 2023. Great horizontal bar gymnast as well. He's the reigning World Universities champion and the reigning Asian champion on that piece. Let's focus on what he can do here on floor. He won the gold medal at the World Cup in Germany to start the season. He won silver in Azerbaijan. So he's doing very well. Oh, that's a good save. Real lower body strength there to pull up from an almost supine landing. Yes, no issues in the tuck position. Stand with the arms at diagonal, and very poised it was too. Very interesting case made there by Kazakhstan's Milad Karimi, the two-time Olympian. Twice he's been fifth on floor at the Olympic Games. And he's been an overall World Cup champion as well on floor, the best and most consistent across the season.
To se može vidjeti po prvi dio dijagonale. Imao je čak 2 puta salto sa svoje osi povezano u dupli sklonjeni ili u dupli grčeni.
5.7 difficulty score in the preliminary stage, 8.166 execution. This was nice. The pike position is very difficult to successfully rotate out of. It's a difficult skill. He was completely bang on in terms of alignment in the tuck position. But just to go back to the physics of the pike, as I'm sure many of you know, especially if you've got an overlapping interest in diving, where pike skills are always higher rated in terms of difficulty than tuck skills. The physics of a pike is a very interesting thing because it's just harder to get the body around, and that's why it's very impressive that he managed to land and bring his body upright.
Stigle ocjena 13.966.
13.866 in qualifying, 13.966 here. He's gone into the bronze medal position.
Milad Karimi zauzima jedan stolac, a naš dragi prijatelj iz Bugarske odlazi trenutačno na 4. poziciju.
We have 3 to go. The antepenultimate gymnast is Ante Hribar of Slovenia. Congratulations to him on the silver medal that he won in Antalya. The younger brother of Olympian Lucia Hribar. It's interesting reflecting on the change from 10 counting skills to 8 counting skills. And it maybe gives us a little more time to breathe and enjoy the performance. It certainly gives them more time to breathe and enjoy the performance. And with nice execution, like we're seeing from Ante Hribar, whose scoring qualification was so good, there is the opportunity to really contend. Just had a little form deviation concluding that, but his landing itself was very crisp. there just isn't the opportunity now to score as highly difficulty-wise as was the case in the previous Olympic cycle.
Može biti sretan, odradio je opet jednu zahtjevnu vježbu. Čiste izrade, vidi se da je eksplozivan
Could make some very interesting competitions over the next few years.
doskoci, to je ono što na parteru treba pokazati.
recimo da se sada stavimo na mjesto suca, što bi sad
A lot to enjoy about the way he performs. Did have some clear deductions here and there. This is a nice little sequence. It shows some gracefulness. Shows an ability to actually make his movement from one section of the floor to another seem very organic and not clunky in any way. And here he breaks the leg form a bit, but he gets so much time in the air and his landing is excellent. Nice to see where he is going as a gymnast. He really does enjoy floor and vault particularly. It enjoys him. It's a mutual relationship because he seems very at ease on the floor.
Što će se dogoditi? A dogodit će se sljedeće. 13.766.
Well, he's up again from qualification. 13.766, a little improvement of close to 2/10. So that has him sitting behind Milad Karimi. What can this gentleman do? Aurel Benovic.
The seventh finalist representing Croatia, Aurel Benovic.
The Olympian and Croatia's own. 8th best in qualifying, 13.433, but there is no doubt that he has the skill set in this routine to move quite considerably up the leaderboard. And unfortunately the hands go down on the opening pass. He did have some issues in qualification with the execution too. What a nice recovery. Just look at the stands. It's so full and their eyes are all on him. He is so popular in this place. And that surely carries with it excitement, but a sense of expectation and knowledge that so many of these folk have come here specifically to watch him because they adore him. Yeah, that's very nice. That was a lovely balance. Swings and roundabouts. It really had some great moments. It had some others that were not quite as clear. But we are always reminded when we see Aurel Benovic in Osijek of how important a role he has played in Croatian gymnastics over the years. Silver medalist on floor at the European Championships in 2020. That's when we all really noticed him. And he's been a champion here in front of these fans.
Aurel finished
yes,
fifth
nearly.
at the 2024 Paris Olympics, and he is the 2020
But
European.
what an accomplishment that he made it to the Olympic Games. It was absolutely incredible. He had such a difficult time to get there in so many ways, and there's no need to go into all of them now because it's a very complicated and doubtless very traumatic story for him. The fact that he made it is remarkable in itself. And then to finish in the top 5 in an Olympic final.
Napravio fenomenalno, nažalost u gimnastici pad košta jako puno bodova, ali on može biti sretan i svi mi koji smo ga danas došli podržati.
Naravno, dame I gospodo,
He's so well respected
pred svojom publikom.
Not just by the fans, but by his fellow professionals.
Naravno, uvijek čekamo sada ono što čini razliku da saznamo trenutačni plasman našeg Akija sezone, kako je. A dobro je, mili, pa mi te volimo, šta ima veze, a tako Osijek, on odmah misli da je nešto krivo napravio. A nema greške.
It's not just a celebration of numbers, gymnastics. It's not just about the score you get. It's a celebration of human beings and humanity, and you have to celebrate this man's humanity. We have to admire him so much. His resolve, his resilience, his surely unshakable belief to have accomplished what he's managed to accomplish. He said he was so proud of actually withstanding that pressure of getting to the games. It is at the Doha World Cup, the last World Cup opportunity.
Sad se pitate što Marka ništa ne pita, ovo da je on nastupao. Dame i gospodo, 12.733, evo došao na 7. poziciji. Hvala Aki što su bio s nama.
12.733. So it is, as expected, a drop of over half a mark in qualifying. The last performer on floor.
Predstavnik je Uzbekistana. Je finalist representing Uzbekistan, Abdulaziz Mirvaliyev.
Abdulaziz Mirvaliyev, the 23-year-old from Tashkent, the capital city of Uzbekistan. Team silver medalist at the Asian Championships last year in his home city. Gosh, that must have felt extraordinary. He has been a World Cup medalist. That was on vault in Turkey in 2023. Nice beginning. Not the same degree of amplitude as we've seen from some of the other gymnasts, but it's ever so well controlled, isn't it? Very good pike work. What a nice performance from Abdulaziz Mirvaliyev of Uzbekistan. 13.433 in the preliminary round. The difficulty is likely to be one of the lower scores that we will see in the final. Qualification, he scored 5 exactly. But in terms of its clarity of performance, that sits right up there. He's got a nice pike position, the form is very good, his angle of landing was well judged. What he doesn't do is put as many twists or rotations of the body into the apex of his tumbling passes as others do, but everything is a delicate judgment, isn't it? No point having so much difficulty that you can't perform it with fluidity and style. And he certainly had fluidity and style. He's a good young vaulter as well. Very nearly made the top 10 at the last World Championships.
Amplitudama I evo, idemo dalje.
Idemo sada na posljednji rezultat, 13.633, peto mjesto za
I think that was a thing of beauty, that routine. Oh, well done, 13.633. And he's got the highest execution score of the entire competition, Abdulaziz Mirvaliyev. Excellent. He's up by 2/10 on qualifying. But there is your champion, and what a contest he had with a young man whose arms were outstretched for a moment. Junior Y of the USA level with Artem Dolgopiat, 14.133. And only on tie-break criteria is it won by the Olympic champion from Tokyo and the silver medalist from Paris, with Milad Karimi taking third place.
Na naše drage dame koje su ostale u finalima po spravama. Mi se vidimo nešto malo kasnije, očekujete još danas nekoliko
Let's have a look back at how the contest was won.
Nakon što malo odmoriš, Marko, prebacujemo se na konja. A jao, kako lijepo društvo sada, dame i gospodo, sjajna kao i uvijek, ali pričekamo izjavu našeg Akija za televiziju.
The classified results in the men's floor competition. Bronze won by Milad Karimi of Kazakhstan. Silver goes to Junior Y of the United States of America. And the gold medal on tie-break criteria won by Artem Dolgopiat of Israel.
Award ceremony for men's floor exercise.
The award ceremony for the men's floor competition.
Medalje će uručiti gospodin Ivan Radić, gradonačelnik grada Osijeka. The medals will be presented by Mr. Ivan Radić, mayor of Osijek. Treće mjesto, brončana medalja, predstavnik Kazahstana. In the third place, winning the bronze medal representing Kazakhstan, Milad Karimi.
The bronze medal is won by Milad Karimi of Kazakhstan.
Osvajač drugog mjesta i srebrne medalje, predstavnik je Sjedinjenih Američkih Država. In the second place, winning the silver medal, representing the United States of America, Junosuke Iwai.
Silver won by Junior Y of the United States of America.
Prvo mjesto i zlatna medalja, predstavnik Izraela. In the first place, winning the gold medal, representing Israel, Artem Dolgopiat.
And the title goes to Artem Dolgopiat of Israel.
Dame i gospodo, poslušajmo himnu Izraela. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Israel.
There they are, the medalists in the men's floor competition at the Osijek World Cup of Artistic Gymnastics.
Dragi goste koji ste odradili prvu spravu, da vas čujemo Osijek, jer za koji trenutak stižu i naše dame.